remember being cold. It was always cold. But in the summertime, we lived near Fox River, and we would swim in the river. It was clean, and we learned to swim. We learned how to take care of ourselves. Became very independent. It was a good. I was never unhappy. I didn't know at the time that we were poor, because everybody was poor. And so I don't really think the Depression affected me a lot, other than memories of always being cold and sometimes being hungry. During the Depression, we did live near the railroad track, and so we had many men who would take the train from one town to the next, because they had no home, no food, no nothing, and they would knock on our door, and we didn't really have anything, but my mother always found something for them to eat. My brother enlisted in the Air Force. He was on a B-17 stationed in England, and their plane was shot down in the Channel. But he was a gunner on the plane, and they were rescued by the people in England. They were off the coast, and they were rescued, and their plane, I understand today, is in one of the museums in England, which I would love to see, but I don't travel anymore. And my husband was enlisted. He enlisted before we were married during World War II, and in Ardmore, Oklahoma, and where he was stationed, and he worked on B-17s as chief mechanic. "70 years. We had a wonderful marriage. He was a good man, and I miss him, but I'm sure he's in good hands."
She spreads joy wherever she goes. She is a person of integrity. She has a big smile when she sees you and always has a word of encouragement. She is also a person of deep faith in the Lord Jesus. She meets every week with 3 other generations of her family on Zoom for Bible study every week, and she always comes to me and tells me what verses they are memorizing at the time.
I worked I did office work from the time I got out of high school, and then when my children were born, I quit. And when they grew older and were in high school, I went back to work. But I was executive secretary when we lived in Illinois. I was executive secretary in the Machinists Union. And that was it. I had some interesting jobs. I loved working.
She has a great sense of humor. You should ask her sometime about working for the mob in Chicago. She'll tell you about it with a twinkle in her eye, and it's not a big deal. She'll laugh.
Well, that was kind of a rough time. He died. I have to say how grateful I am to the help that I got at that time. They came in and took care of him, did everything they could for him, because he knew that he was dying. He knew that he only had this at the most 6 months. And it turned out to be 2 months. But when he died, I said, "Well, Goldie, you got to start a new life." I don't know why, but something told me Luther Manor, and I knew nothing about Luther Manor. Nothing at all. And I didn't know anybody here. And I said, let's go see Luther Manor. And so we came in and looked at it, and I walked down the hall and I saw all these gorgeous pictures on the wall that people had put, and pictures of their family and crafts, things. I said, this looks like home. So I immediately signed up. In fact, we had a man on our hallway. Our hallway is very close. We're all good friends. We have a good time together. And when he moved in, he dubbed us the Golden Girls. During COVID in our hallway, I think they're not going to like me for telling this, but we decided that we were not going to stay inside. So we opened our doors, turned the music up high, all lined up in the hall, and did line dancing. It was a sight.
I think it takes a huge amount of strength and resilience to make it to age 101. Goldie has lived through several wars and has had her share of, tough times. She has outlived her husband, one of her sons, and 6 of her siblings.
I have so many blessings, I couldn't count them all. I feel God has just blessed me so much, and every morning I give thanks to God for all He's given me. Challenges, I can't sing or dance anymore.